Welcome back. Hey guys, nice to see you again. Today's topic or today's title is seven strategies to use to avoid getting yelled at by the Inlingua secretaries. When I first started, I was ambitious, really ambitious, and I was really frustrated because I didn't know a lot of things, and there was no formal training for me because I came from another Inlingua. So that Inlingua had a different operations system. So just transferring to a new country, a new center, a new Inlingua center, it was still new for me, even though I had worked for Inlingua before. So what I would do is I would always hammer the secretaries with questions, and they didn't have time for me. And so I was just frustrated. I remember just thinking, man, if I just had another teacher that I could talk to. And that's why I started the WhatsApp group. That's why I started the training here on YouTube, because I wanted to give back to my old self. Like if I had this when I was coming, then I would at least have felt a little bit better. I probably would have still been upset, but I would have felt better because I wanted to speak with a teacher to get advice and things like that. So they say be the change that you want to see. So I'm trying to give back the knowledge that I learned when I was there. So the first strategy that I had was to be empathetic. Okay, to have empathy. And what does that mean? Empathy means to share someone else's feelings, to share someone else's experiences. Usually when you go into the lingual offices, especially in the morning, you'll just see the phone ringing over and over and over and over and over. You see papers over here, the secretaries are doing this. And then, but because I have to go to class, because I have things that I have to do, in the beginning, I would just stop and interrupt them. Hey, I need this. I need that. I need this. I need that. And, I had my blinders on because I was so focused on what I needed. So as I, you know, as I continued or as I grew as a teacher, I just started to pay more attention to the secretaries, and I started to put myself in their shoes. What if I had a million things to do and there are 40 teachers at Inlingua, 40 or 50 teachers, and every teacher that comes in stops, and they say, I need this, I need that, I need this. I would imagine that I would be frustrated also if I was one of the secretaries. And so, as I learned as an Inlingua teacher, as I got less needy, I started to notice what they were going through. And, so it's a challenge for them. So number one on my list would be empathy. Number two was my number one at first. The second strategy that was a big lifesaver for me was email. No one had taught me that. Like, I would just try to speak with someone face to face, face to face, face to face, but email was a big lifesaver for me. It was less stress for me, less stress for them. They could answer my email when they had time. So for anything, for payments, for questions, for transfer rates, for yeah, that's pretty much it for those things, I think. But for anything really, I would just send them an email first, and then if they don't respond to my email, send another one, and then I can go talk face to face. But I never really had problems with them not responding to my emails. Maybe one or two times, but if I sent a second email, it usually got responded to. So email is big. That was number one actually for me, but I changed it to number two because I think empathy is more important. Number three, checking and double checking the times of your classes. I know that Inlingua has recently changed the schedule, and now they have the schedule online, but I would say maybe 6 months ago it was different. You had to actually go and look at the board physically. And so, if there was a 15 or 30-minute change in a class and you didn't read or recheck the board, you would either be late or be too early, because sometimes they would change the times of your classes. So even though, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock you have the same class, sometimes that would change. But now they have changed the system, and they send you an email if something changes, which is much better. So they are improving. But anyway, just check and double check, just to be sure. Never assume that the same class will be at the same exact time every week, because sometimes it can change a little bit. Number 4, don't be late for your classes. Do not be late for your classes. Sometimes I was late. I think it happens to all of us. Maybe it's the metro, or maybe you left your wallet at home, or maybe it's carelessness, or maybe it's just, you had to have a bite of pizza at home before you left and you missed your bus or something like that. But don't be late. Try to arrive 15 minutes before your class time. So if your class is at 2, just tell yourself, I need to be there by 1:45, and you should be okay. Number 5 is patience. Just be patient. Be patient with the process. Be patient with your learning curve, especially if you're new. Just send the secretaries an email and be patient and wait. Unless it's an emergency, unless somebody's going to die, or unless you have to get taxes done or something like that, or pay rent, or whatever it is. If it's not an emergency, then you can wait. Wait a day or two, send them another email. If they don't respond, then you can go in and talk face to face. Number 6, educate yourself. Just learn and self-teach yourself. No, teach yourself. Teach yourself, grow, learn from other teachers, and become a better teacher. They will have less problems with you as you grow, and so the situation will be more pleasant as you learn the operations of the center, and as you grow as a teacher when you become a better teacher. So, and then number 7 is fill out your Schedas properly. Fill out those Schedas. I know for some teachers it could be a pain, but the secretaries have to fill out the Schedas for Mr. Tibbet, or for management. And so if you don't fill out your Schedas, it makes life more difficult for them. And also, do you think they're going to be quick to pay you if you don't fill out your Schedas? So don't get on their bad side. Is that what I'm saying? Try to avoid their bad side. So, just try to keep things pleasant, keep things professional. So those are my tips that I have. If I was talking to my old self when I first arrived, that's what I would tell myself. So thank you for listening. I'll see you guys again in the next episode. Ciao.